This one time I admitted I bite my toenails on a podcast. My name is John, and I am an actor. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, and joining me today, some call him the Bear, but we call him Gadget.
I'm very bear-like. Yeah, I'll take it. I do like to hibernate, and I'm a big fan of catching fresh salmon.
Also,
get tossed by Goliath.
Some call him Ted Lasso, but we call him Biggie.
All right.
He knows nothing about football.
He
Also,
doesn't believe.
Some call her Orange is the New Black, but we call her Candy.
Hello. You can call me Chocolate Orange as well if you want.
Or Terry.
Terry.
And finally, some call him the Muppet Show, but we call him Stig.
It's been Klopp's kids against the blue £1 billion bottle jobs. Kuan!
Oodles, translate.
Football, Liverpool
Okay.
won.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, Liverpool.
Proper
Much
team.
deserved. Much deserved. Can't argue. Can't argue with a win.
Another
How
trophy
is
in
everyone
the
doing?
cabinet.
How's everyone doing?
On a high.
Great after that.
Great.
Game.
Is it first win you've ever watched before, Biggie?
I didn't really know we were playing until someone told me.
No, I didn't think so. Cool. How's everyone else then?
Yeah, really good game, I thought.
No, I'm not on the critique of the game that you never watched.
The men kicked the ball really well.
My
Shut
ice
up.
hockey team lost
It's
8-0
great.
last
Come
night.
on.
8-0.
Yeah, wasn't great.
Doesn't that call it 8-love or 8-0?
Well, 8-0, I guess.
I watched a man drink a litre of gin last night and not die.
Oh,
Oh, you were watching me?
No, one of Pip's mates was over, and the man... Well, you've met him, Mark. The man can fucking drink.
I can.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
yes.
drinking pop tonight. I'm drinking pop
Stick and
tonight
take him
because I
on.
went out last night.
She texted me and said, like, you like to drink gin. It's like, what's a good amount? I said, well, the last, like, binge I went on was I drank a full bottle at the Podcastle.
Yeah,
So
2
I paid
litres.
for it the next day, but I managed to get through it.
Yeah, he drank a litre of London gin and then woke up perfectly fine. I don't know how he does it.
There's no way he didn't wake up when he had the London dry gin mouth, because dry gin mouth is the worst mouth you can have.
I did not wake up fine.
It does dry you out.
That's
It
because you're
literally
human,
dries you
Steve.
out. It's like you've been stuck on Arrakis for months when you wake up from fucking dry gin mouth. It's
Just
the worst.
Just want something to spit on you.
Yeah,
for a bit of
please spit
moisture.
on me. Oh, it's awful. But yeah, I drank far too much last night. But I'm here. Yay.
Yay!
So,
How are you, Oodles? Because no one ever asked you.
no one ever fucking cares, mate. No one cares.
But more important than how are you, Oodles? Why are you, Oodles?
Very, very, very.
Oodles, you're doing great as well. Football's killing it for you're killing it as well, aren't you? Your team?
I don't like to gloat because people get annoyed when Leeds are doing well. Other than me.
Yeah,
Very
we're all
friggin' well.
happy. We're all happy.
We
with
smashed
football right
Leicester.
now. Leicester FC.
We smashed, absolutely smashed them. Giants, they were called. Giants. Not anymore.
Oh, it looks like Newcastle.
Yeah.
It looks like Newcastle lost today, so I assume there's going to be some equine boxing somewhere.
Don't
they
worry
got
about the
batters.
finances, though. I'm sure the checkbooks are still balancing. Right, so let's get on with it. Come on. It's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
A 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. He's
a
a
centre half. He's a number 4. Watch him defend. And we watch him score. He can
He'll
pass the ball. Come as you like. He's Virgil van Dijk. He's Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk.
Marching on together.
Shut up,
Sorry.
Fog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. The fog on the Tyne is all
you.
mine.
Yeah, we're just celebrating a beautiful man with a beautiful header to win a beautiful trophy for another beautiful man with his beautiful white teeth.
And his beautiful
Who's
kids.
leaving?
Yeah,
Good
well,
luck with those tears. Come on, news me up.
Okay, dokes. First up, 4 fan favourite Xbox games have been confirmed, and they're coming to Nintendo Switch and Sony. The choices are Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves.
Two of them I've never heard of.
One, because Rare, the developer behind all-time classics such as Banjo-Kazooie and Perfect Dark, has never made a PlayStation game before. But all that changes, and the studio will ship Sea of Thieves on the PS5. UK developers never worked on any of the systems. Nintendo previously had a stake in the studio before it was wholly acquired by Microsoft in 2002.
Fair enough.
Good.
It's good business move. I mean,
What's Pentiment? Grounded's the ants one, in
Grounded's the Honey I Shrunk the Shooter.
yeah, like survival.
What's Pentiment?
So Pentiment's the one from Obsidian where everything it's like a kind of medieval narrative, who done it, who killed somebody kind of thing. But the graphics are done as if it's like the Bayer tapestry.
Like Monty Python
but
animation.
I know what the Pentiment.
Everyone says it's excellent.
I know what
I've
tapestry
played
is.
But Oodles, it's a narrative game from Obsidian. Need to push that down
Can't go
there.
wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
And obviously, we've talked about it a fair bit on the pod before. Hi-Fi Rush is a fucking banger. Everyone on PlayStation should
beat
play
that.
it.
Beat that. That's a game, yeah. That's a good game. I've already beat it. I don't think I'll double dip on it because it'll probably be 70 quid.
No, I think it's only 30.
No.
But Sea of Thieves is the one that I think a lot of people will be excited about because it's a live service game where you can all play together, and it's good. It is a good game. I know you found it a bit boring, Noodles, but like
Could be cross
I just got told off for being a pirate. That's the problem.
you stole the fucking boat.
I was too pirate.
But I mean, yeah, Sea of Thieves will be great on PlayStation, and it's
like Stig just said, is it going to be cross-play? Do we know cross-platform? Because there's already an audience playing it, which
Yes,
would be
It's on
nice for the
Xbox
game.
and PCs.
It says in the news support of cross-play for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC.
Good. That's what you want.
When's that coming out?
April 30th.
Then Helldivers exists. That's the point.
I've not played any
debate.
Rare games. They're supposed to be a very good developer. But
You not played Rare
played any
games?
Not even like back
not
in the
that I'm aware of.
N64 days.
Banjo
I didn't
Kazooie?
have one.
Okay, hell.
I didn't have one, but I still played it.
Not even. You had a Super
Oh, good
Nintendo
for
though.
you. I didn't have one.
Yeah, Super Nintendo though. Did you
GoldenEye.
not play Donkey Kong Country?
Donkey Kong, yeah.
Maybe what, the one on the SNES.
Yeah. That was rare.
Oh yeah, I've played that then. Yeah, I didn't realise
So-
it was by them.
Your statement is null and void.
Well,
There's a
I
lot of
sit
games
corrected.
that you won't have realised that they did.
Yeah, thank you. See, that's a better response.
Have you not played GoldenEye before?
No,
Oh,
don't think so.
man.
Wow.
I was playing Time
I feel like everyone had to play GoldenEye at some point. Had to. I don't
I wonder
particularly
if we
like
could do
the
a modern
game, but
escapism multiplayer GoldenEye session one night.
I don't really like it, Candy. It controls like shit and it looks like shit.
It does, but
Even
can you
now.
imagine how much fun it would be if we were all playing like absolute
Controls
shit?
on Xbox aren't too bad now because you can
Oh, have they done them up?
you can just select. You can have the classic controls if you're a sadist, or you can just put
Yeah.
like a normal
I think.
first-person shooter.
I mean,
I think.
let me be real. Go on, sorry.
I think if we're going to do that, we need to do it at a podcast with original hardware.
Fast
Ooh,
screen,
yikes.
Four-way split screen.
four-way split screen. Yeah, that's the way to do
Yeah,
it.
because there's
Golden
only
gun.
four of us. Yeah.
Me and my
Well, no, Oodles,
me and
you just said you don't like the game, so you can sit outside and smoke.
my friend played like 1 versus 1 on it, like when he came over last time. He's like, oh,
Again, I don't want to throw shade on GoldenEye's control scheme without mentioning that Time Splitter's control scheme was also shite.
Oh, it fucking was.
So I'm not being
sure it was fine
elitist
back in
PlayStation
then. It
guy.
was
I'll be
fine
alright
back
then if I
then.
play it.
Oh, they were both fucking atrocious. Before analogs were the staple. Before we were using analogs to look.
There was nothing wrong with that GoldenEye when it came out because we'd never experienced anything like it before. so there was nothing to compare it against.
Yeah, oh no, I know, it's a thing.
Just now, if you try and play it with us, it's...
And he's announced some games, and we're talking about fucking GoldenEye. Next.
There's a little link to Sony are planning to release a PC support for PlayStation VR 2 this year.
Which makes it an instantly better purchasing option. Because Sony
have barely supported it, have they?
Nah.
I saw a tweet saying, I bought this a year ago, and not a single first-party game's come out for it, and I've had to rebuy games that I already owned. What was the point?
Didn't they do a Aloy game? What's her name? Aloy, Ginger Girl on VR.
Yeah. They did a Horizon
Maybe
Call of the Wild.
No, that came out with it, didn't it? So if that's all they've done since,
there's not been a first-party Sony VR game since that.
VR is crap.
There's been
it's just
ports
crap.
of other VR games, like stuff that you can get on Quest and on PC VR anyway. But I don't think there hasn't really been any exclusives. So
Rhythm
such a
games
gimmick.
are amazing for VR.
Yeah, they are.
But outside that, you get the odd like the Phantasmophobia or whatever it was. That's
Phasmophobia.
Really Phasmophobia, because it shits you up.
As does Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, but Half-Life Alyx is amazing in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's for PlayStation. What's the point? After the PSVR
Sony can't complain, can they? They can't complain about the sale.
It, so I would never have got a VR 2 ever.
The thing as well with the VR 2, they actually released a really good headset. Like, it's got great tracking. It punches pound for pound above like what the Valve Index does, or near enough, and that costs twice as much. So, like, it'd be a great PC headset, but there just isn't the business support behind it on Sony's side to warrant buying it just for the PlayStation. But if you got a good PC and you can get some Steam VR stuff, then fucking go for it. It's a good option.
Imagine being exclusively a VR player. Like, I've got a Quest 2 in my house, and the only time I've used it is to purchase in-app purchases for my son. I mean, imagine being I only play VR games. I'm a hardcore gamer. I'm hardcore. Fucking God, what a gimmick.
Yeah, that's great.
It dies out. Hope it dies out.
No, VR is great.
You're just a lazy cunt.
Yep, here I am.
There are VR games you can play sat down. Like Star Wars Squadrons is great in VR.
I'd rather just play a real game.
That is a real game. It's fucking.
It puts you inside the cockpit.
Yeah,
cockpit.
You're in an X-wing shooting up the Empire.
It's not a real game. It's an experience.
It took me 20 hours to get through it.
You haven't used your VR for 20 hours. I've checked your logs. I've checked your stats. Since owning it.
Fucking hell, man. He won't be counted on this, will he?
No. Biggie, you getting a VR, mate?
Nope.
I
played Resident Evil 7 on my mates, and that was great fun, but I don't need it.
It's better without VR.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
He's looking forward to picking up a Nintendo Virtual Boy.
I actually think
I've tried it.
I actually think it's better in VR. The game Resident Evil. It's just makes me feel sick.
I've got
the constitution for horror games in VR. Like I only got to the end of Alyx by fucking using cheats on it, which means I didn't get any of the achievements.
Games don't scare me. Generally, I don't like playing a game. Horror games do not scare me. Put me in VR. Completely the opposite.
Oh yeah,
because it's right there in my face, in my ears.
Especially when you suddenly then realize every monster in every video game jumps at your fucking face, and when they move around like spiders, the arachnophobia nearly dies. It got to the point that one of the cheats I did with Half-Life Alyx, so it was infinite ammo and no reloads. So I was literally just walking into a room with the shotgun and just like fucking emptying it in the place, like an American policeman, just trying to make sure nothing's moving.
Yeah. Anyway, my only issue is that mine takes too long to set up. I wish I had one that I could just dunk on my head, because I've got an old VR.
Yeah, you got the Rift, haven't you?
Next.
Halo co-creator and Battlefield game director Marcus Lato has left EA. He had been heading up to Seattle-based Ridgeline Games, an EA studio dedicated to the Battlefield franchise, and has seemingly scrubbed all mention of Battlefield and EA from their social media bio, as well as updated their LinkedIn to state they've now left EA.
Didn't even know he was at EA.
You didn't even know who he was?
Nope. First time I've ever heard that man's name in my life.
Interesting that he scrubbed the mentions of Battlefield and EA. Sounds like that's bad blood.
Yeah. They really need to go in a new direction, but we talked about that before.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that another person has left that series.
I'm calling it now. The next Battlefield games, Call of Duty games, Halo games are all going to be exactly like Helldivers.
Are they going to have some mood like that?
Yep.
Of course they are. And they're going to give it... What kind of fancy industry name are they going to call it? Because we had Battle Royales, we had Souls-likes. What they're going to call it? Drop-in games. I don't know. What they're going to call it?
Mosh pits.
Democracy. Democracy games.
Democracy Manifest.
Yeah. Get your hands off my penis! Games.
Yes. Sucking a Chinese meal.
Moving swiftly on, Lady Gaga is heading over to Fortnite for the festival season 2. Singing Superstar will feature as an icon in Fortnite, meaning you can play as her and play her tracks in-game.
Tempted.
I'm downloading
my god,
it right
the comments
now.
though. You can imagine the comments. It's been a cesspool.
It always
What
is.
do you mean there's a girl for being advertised to girls? We won't have this. We only want girls to look sexy.
Didn't they do the same with Ariana
Lady
Grande when
Gaga's
she was in the
sexy.
game?
She is sexy.
She's
But-
really sexy.
Not sexy enough, apparently. But I think she's doing one of those concerts, isn't she, that they do in Fortnite?
Yeah, she is, yeah.
I love how Fortnite has evolved into this. It's so mad.
Best concert
cool.
they did was best concert they did on Fortnite was Galactus eating the planet. Not strictly a concert, but it was funny.
I can't fault them for all the effort they put into these events and everything. It's not for me, but like a lot of fans seem to enjoy it. And
Well,
the events where like worlds get eaten and stuff, and it changes the map and that. It's quite cool.
Isn't there something
My son
now
lives for
with Fortnite Worlds where it's like there's now like a rhythm game, so like people are like breaking out the Guitar Hero controls, and there's like a
Guitar
new
Hero,
a new controller coming out.
What was quite funny about the Lady Gaga thing was there's a tweet from her a few years ago saying, "What's Fortnite?" and it's spelt properly.
Yeah.
And then she's just retweeted
Did
that
everyone
and
go
put
2 weeks, dickhead?
She's put Fortnite, Fortnite with asterisks, like
The best one
correcting
was
herself.
I remember
quite
seeing that
funny.
one because like the streamer Ninja replied to us says, "Hey, if you send
I thought you said Minja then.
no Ninja," and this was back when he was like the top streamer in the world. And like he said, like, "Oh, send me a message and I guide you through it and show you how to play the game. It's really fun." And then she just replies back to him, "Who are you?"
That was what it was based off. People like, he's a Fortnite player, and then she then said, "What's Fortnite?" Like, yeah, because like she's gonna know until somebody rolled up with a load of money and said, "Fancy being in your avatar in our game?" Yeah, sure. Couple of million for you.
Couple of million body scan, motion capture, done.
Congratulations, Lady Gaga. Next.
Over to the world of film and TV.
Wait,
Disney sells a major...
Hang on a second, Biggie. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
You've missed off one of the big announcements of this week. In fact, several big announcements this week.
Oh, go on. I was trying to keep it tight.
I know, but, you know, the Elden Ring DLC was announced. Release date, trailers.
No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah, move on. Next.
Fine.
Come on, announce it, Biggie.
Elden Ring, something announced. There you go.
Excellent. Can't wait.
Does it look
Shadow
good,
of
guys?
the Erd Tree.
Are you
does look
happy?
good.
It does.
Are you
Yes.
excited?
Yes, we're very
Yeah.
excited.
I might finish it now.
You won't.
I might do. Maybe that's my challenge. I should finish that by the end of this year.
Mate, you can't finish your send off. Come on. Let's be real.
Yeah, finish Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Lot
That's
easier,
all you
though.
need in life.
It's a lot easier.
It is. Excellent. Well done. Shadows of the Erd Tree. Shadow or Shadows of the Erd Tree? Shadow.
Shadow, because you're in the Shadow Lands.
Singular. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks great.
See, you're in the shadow of the Erd Tree, and it looks fantastic. New bosses.
It does.
Melee combat as well, which I thought was interesting. Not melee, like hand-to-hand martial arts combat.
Did you see the kick that was doing that was same as the Sekiro guys?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I was watching Varty Vidya's breakdown of it.
I haven't watched it yet. I know it's there.
Well, he mentioned something that's in it, which I wasn't expecting. That there's going to be a secondary power leveling stat. You know, like in Sekiro, like you claim the boss memories and that it boosts your attack power.
That's how you get your attack power, yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently they're putting that something similar to that in Elden Ring, so that if you go in with like an end game level character, there is still a challenge for you that you still have to effectively level up in a way.
Even New Game Plus 4.
Yeah. Which says to me that at least the bosses are probably going to scale with your level as well.
Into it,
yeah. I'm very excited. It's June 21st or something like that.
Soon.
I
love that. Love that for me. Next.
Is it right if I continue?
Yeah, sure, hon.
Oh, all right, just checking in. Disney sells a major part of its movie business to Sony. As per Variety, Disney will soon be outsourcing the distribution of its home entertainment media to Sony Pictures Entertainment. The new deal will see Sony manufacture, distribute, and market DVDs, Blu-rays, and other physical media of Disney-owned releases. Sony will only be selling all of Disney's new releases and catalogue titles on physical media because Disney have decided to start to move away from that.
Sure, we talked about this last week.
No. You posted it.
No.
News thing this week.
I'm talking to myself about it.
Yeah. I'm going to say that this is the first step to Disney allowing Sony to do things so they can buy Spider-Man off them. Because they really want to get Spider-Man away from Disney.
Yeah.
It's good. No, it's good because there are plenty of people
how is this anything bad? It's got to be good, hasn't it? It's physical stuff.
I'm all for it, physical media, and there's someone they've just developed a new disc as well that can put like
it's 125 terabytes.
Terabytes or something on a disc, something stupid.
And it costs £100 a go, I bet.
Well, at the minute, at the minute, it's wildly expensive, but it's one of those things that they've proved the technology.
Yeah, you've got to remember, like DVDs were £100 when they came out, weren't they, originally? And then they just turned into a quid.
It's more so that it'll allow higher and higher resolutions as time goes on, because like 8K,
future proofing. Yeah,
like 8K will be the next thing, then 16K and stuff like that, and it'll basically get to the point where your TV has the resolution of just your window. You just look through it.
Yeah.
I still think 4K pricing is still way too high at the minute. They need to drop that.
It'll come down eventually. It's just
when 8K's out.
Yeah.
In the same way that DVDs got cheaper when Blu-rays came out.
I've got a 42-inch 4K telly, and it wasn't expensive. You know how I am. I'm a monitor's 4K.
No, but 4K Blu-rays cost quite a lot. Like they're still like
PlayStation.
Still like £22. I mean the discs
I've
to buy
got
the film.
Oh, the disc. Yeah.
Sorry.
I've got loads for cheap. I've got like The Thing. I've got Aliens.
Oh yeah, the one
Game of Thrones.
The ones I've bought are either films that I absolutely adore and want to keep forever. Like I think the last one I bought for that was Dune. And then
I've got Dune as well.
But then other ones I've bought have been like, whenever eBay or Amazon does like a 2 for £30 deal, get a couple of classics.
All the Tarantino ones that they did. I'm still waiting for some of them ones. Yeah, I've got loads.
I haven't actually got any yet. And we're going to go through, see them all behind me here.
Yeah.
Shitloads. We're going to go through and like start just getting rid of. There's some absolute dross in there.
I better one CEX near you.
Yeah. We've already sorted the TV ones out. It's just loads of the films to go through. Now I'm just about keeping
the full box set of ER.
No.
Stuff like that.
No, more like full box set of like Desperate Housewives or something like that.
Oh.
Actually, I really enjoyed that. Just trailed off towards the end. But yeah, it's just a lot of... Like 24, I've got all of 24, and I love 24, but I know I'm not going to sit and watch through all of them again. So
No.
Yeah.
I just want to keep
with that one.
the collections, like the
Takes too
Ghibli, the Disney, Pixar, the MCU, and all like good films that I love that I'll go back to.
Brazzers, all your Brazzers collection.
Yeah. Slut Puppies 2. Oh, love it.
Oh, it's a banger. It's better than the first one.
Yeah.
Just like Frozen 2.
Speaking of mistakes, Avengers 5 will no longer be titled the Kang Dynasty.
Oh shit, Sherlock.
You saw that coming.
Clearly not Jonathan Majors.
Oh.
Seems to be very surprised by his impending
Punched it out
issues.
of the way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Too soon?
What's it going to be called? Avengers 5 Veto?
Be brave, just call it Avengers 5. Leave it at that.
Nah, it'll be... They said that he's going to take a lesser role in it. Does that mean they're still going to use him or have him as a background character or what?
Oh, they're going to kill him in the first minute.
I just don't understand why they just. The problem is Ant-Man Quantumania fucked the character.
Good.
Because they made it out like he was like a proper powerful Kang, and he got beat in that film. But he's not the powerful Kang. He's one of the weaker ones, and there's a more powerful one. But if you kind of look at the conversation around that film, people didn't understand that. They just thought that Kang was a regular baddie. He got beat by Ant-Man. How is he any threat to the Avengers? So they fucked him with that film.
I'm telling you now, I know who it's going to be. Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, one of the greatest villains of all time.
Or
Galactus,
if it ties in with the Fantastic Four film.
Too soon for Galactus. Galactus is Thanos level.
True.
Yeah, I need to do something that's not a universe threat.
Yeah, they need to slow it down and build up a momentum again.
Latest rumor on Doctor Doom is Daniel Craig as well.
Nah,
I can take that.
I still want Glenn Howerton, man. I'm not getting away from Glenn Howerton as Doctor Doom.
Daniel Craig, but with his accent from Knives Out.
Yeah, I'll take that. He's European. I'll take that. I'll take that. Next.
Interesting one. There are going to be 4 separate biopic films are in the works about each member of the Beatles to all release in theatres in 2027. Sam Mendes will direct each film.
Can't wait to watch the Ringo one.
Stories, one with each band member's point of view.
Fucking hell.
So is Ringo's one just going to be him just sat in the corner while the others are arguing?
Narrating
Ringo,
Thomas the Tank.
Ringo, do a 4-4 for us.
Peace and love. I don't know. Like, obviously, Paul and John have a bit more.
They were the front leading men.
Yeah.
Then you've got George Harrison, like, yeah, sure, George, whatever, mate. It's just like the Ringo one's going to end where he starts saying, "Please don't send me any fan mail. Peace and love, peace and love." He's going to do that. That's how it's going to end. I've got to stop sending me fan mail.
I've got a feeling that individually, I don't think each of the Beatles is interesting enough to carry their own film. Like
not even John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
Yeah, the story of the Beatles is interesting, but them as individual people, like, I think they were just very talented people. Like, there was nothing particularly special. We had that
John Lennon one with the guy from Kick-Ass in it. Do you remember?
I mean, we had the true representation of the Beatles in
Dewey Cox.
In Dewey Cox, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm John Lennon.
Just take complete artistic license to the extreme and just make it up. Like, no one knows. No one really knows about them. Just make anything up.
Well, I've all 4 of the Beatles meeting up at the job centre, like.
But they're going to intertwine with each other. So you're going to be apparently you're meant to be able to form a narrative based on the other films, and as they cross into each other's paths and do.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
I adore the Beatles' music. I absolutely adore them. I think they're pioneers for the time as well. But watching 4 movies based on an individual Beatle sounds like hell to me. I'm just not interested.
And all the states of the Beatles will be fighting about who makes the most money, whose film makes the most.
It's just
who looks the best.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a Yoko Ono documentary because she's batshit.
Oh, it could be called Oh No, Oh No.
Whee.
Oh, that'd be
like
so
it
good.
when Yoko's getting ignored and stuff, she just starts screaming on songs and stuff.
I do love seeing clips of her playing live with somebody. Yeah, it's just excellent, like, jazz musicians all around her, and she just starts shrieking in the corner with her carrot.
When she's like around in that documentary and she's like trying to
She's
trying to get her input on the songs, and Paul's just like, yes, Yoko. Oh no, yes, Yoko, yeah, sure thing. Yeah.
She's just a nutter. Now, that'd be an interesting film.
I don't know how this is going to play out.
It's going to be shit.
Yeah, why not just do
Sam Mendes is a good director, but
he is.
Also, the thing is, like, if it's 4 individual films, that's 8 hours worth of films with cross-branching stories. By the time you get to whoever is released last, you're not going to remember what happened in the fucking first one.
You know how it's going to go. They're going to go in order of popularity. It's going to be the Ringo, the George Harrison film, and then it's going to be a toss up between the Paul McCartney and John Lennon one.
No, they'll start with Paul McCartney or John Lennon. They'll start with Paul McCartney because they've got to look. Because if the first one
and then end with Lennon
and end with Lennon, because you can't start with the shit ones and end with the good, the better.
I mean, he's the quickest one because he got shot.
It'll be
I thought Paul McCartney was dead.
Oh yeah, that's what conspiracy, isn't it?
It'll be Paul and Ringo because obviously those are the ones alive to kick up a stink if things are bad. They'll go first.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who do you think the big baddie's going to be? Do you think the fifth one's going to be Beatles Assemble?
Tom Jones,
Yoko Ono.
Yeah, Yoko.
No, it's going to be that drummer
Elvis.
that drummer that they got rid of before Ringo. Peter something or other. He's going to be following them following their tour bus in like a little Volkswagen van, just like plotting their downfall at every time,
collecting the stones.
Yeah.
I'm just not interested, and I absolutely adore the Beatles music. Again, it just sounds dull to me. Next,
they'll do the Tim Panelli Avengers with like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, sorry to jump in on you, Biggie. It's just when Gadget mentioned Glenn Howerton. There's going to be a remake, apparently, of American Psycho.
Oh.
And someone's put him forward for American...
fuck, I want that.
Someone put Let Him Cook, and then Rob McElhenney retweeted saying, Cook, let him feast.
Oh, he'd be so good as Patrick Bateman.
I mean, we don't need it.
We don't need it, but I would like to see it.
Yeah.
They won't do that. It'll be bloody Ryan Gosling or something.
I mean, he wouldn't be bad as Patrick Bateman, but...
You wouldn't.
Have you seen Drive? He can do Unhinged.
Just get Christian Bale to do it again.
Why do we need that, though? What's the point?
Bateman Reborn.
You got killed in the second one. Jeez,
Requiem.
Have you seen that? Absolutely terrible.
Seen the second one, yeah.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
It's awful. Is it Mila Kunis?
Yes, it's based on a woman.
And she kills Patrick Bateman, and then
fucking hell,
it's crap.
Mm-hmm. Next,
I don't know the veracity of, I can't even say the word.
Veracity?
Barry Keoghan will return as the Joker in Batman Part 2. Now, apparently he's been posting about this, but I couldn't see anything that verified this, so I don't know if
what's
it's
the scene with him in it.
Or it's
he didn't
confirmed.
post. Someone asked him about it, and he gave a little smirk and basically a wink to the camera to say yes, but not officially. So everyone ran with it to say.
If you've not seen the scene of him, Biggie, talking to Twilight, the Batman Twilight, it's a really good scene. That's a really good Joker.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good version of the Joker, especially since you can't really see him because he's behind glass.
But when you see the release stills of what he looks like, aren't they? It's fucking gross.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, again, after seeing Saltburn, you know he'd be fucking great.
Absolutely.
But the funny thing is, what's his bloody name? Twilight guy. What's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson is so much taller than Barry Keoghan. So when he's going up against the Joker, it's going to be like bang, punching down on him, bang,
holding him back like that, and he's holding him back, arms.
Bang.
Yeah, but then, if you think about it, like a lot of the animated forms of Batman and Joker, Batman is much taller. Batman is much taller than the Joker,
and
because
wider.
It's the whole thing, like the whole towering over him kind of thing, and the fact that the Joker isn't scared of him.
My only thing about
Batman.
It is, it's just a kind of they've been and done that kind of Joker, the disfigured mouth and the face and the.
They kind of need someone new, don't they? A different.
It's almost like it to be a bait and switch that he isn't actually the Joker and he's a copycat.
Like they did in Gotham.
I'd never watched that.
You got like the Calendar Man.
There was a character called Jerome in it, and everyone thought he was the Joker.
Zaz is a nasty piece of work.
Yeah, Victor Zaz would be good. I think what helped the Batman though was that because taking Riddler but doing what they did with Riddler, like it gives me a bit of confidence that whatever they're going to do with the Joker is still going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
Like you just don't want to be copying Heath Ledger again. You don't want to be copying Mark Hamill again. But if you can take like some of the best elements of those performances and make them possibly even more malevolent, they make him a true demon of the character.
I always preferred the Mark Hamill Joker, the in love with Batman Joker.
Yeah, the proper clown prince of crime.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to mention it
favourite.
later, but I've been rereading The Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller
Great
graphic
book.
novel, and the Joker, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is.
It's very unhinged.
Yeah, I've
in a
always
different way.
liked the Joker that does crimes to get Batman, not to blow up
Okay, because
two ships.
yeah, that's one of
You
the.
know what I mean?
Isn't that one of the lines from animated series where he thinks he's killed Batman? And what is crime? What is crime without a punchline? You know?
Yeah, and there's an actual book where Batman retired. You know, before Batman Beyond came out.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne retired, and Batman retired, and blah blah blah. And Joker's just bored, and he doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't do any crimes because, like, what's the point?
There's
I'm not scared of Nightwing.
that Harley Quinn
fuck's
cartoon.
sake.
There's a moment in that where he gets revealed to the
Just
Joker.
about to say that.
Yeah.
Literally just about to say the Joker.
And I think he just like responds like horribly to Scarecrow reveals
Yeah,
it. Because you
didn't want
ruined
it.
the funniest thing that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to know who he was.
Yeah.
I always like the Joker when he can't be the Joker anymore because he is the Joker card to Batman. You know what I mean? He's it's brilliant, beautifully like Shakespearean dynamic between them both. But it gets lost sometimes in Hollywood, doesn't it?
A lot of times it does.
That's why The Dark Knight Returns works so well.
It really does, mate. Yeah. Next.
Well, speaking of Batman, concept art was pitched for a Batman Beyond animated
Seen
film
this.
by
so
director
good.
Patrick Harpin and PD Yuki Demers, who was part of the Across the Spider-Verse. They said, before we pitched, they warned us there's absolutely no way we can do a Beyond movie, but they loved our enthusiasm. We pitched the outline for the entire film. What started as a never turned into a maybe.
I mean, if they can do for,
I'm up for it.
If they can do for Batman what they did for Spider-Man with Spider-Verse, that would be incredible.
I'm telling you now, Terry McGinnis is the second best Batman there's ever been. Batman Beyond's great.
Have you seen the concept art for it?
It looks good.
Oh, it looks
Have a look.
incredible.
Just,
I love Terry McGinnis as Batman. He's obviously Bruce Wayne's his Alfred in that. If you don't know about Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis is in the future, and he's the Batman now, and he's got more futuristic tech and stuff. And he's a great character. He's a skinny Batman, isn't he? He's lean.
He's like Spider-Man.
Yeah, and imagine a Batman where Robin's his elder, that kind of thing.
hey, look in the chat. Just have a look at that. Just
Yeah.
to see what you let us know what you think. Just that's concept art that they put through.
Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, I love Batman Beyond. I think so.
By the Spider-Verse team.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I'd be all over that. But yeah, if you've not read or watched Batman Beyond, you thought, "Ooh, what's this?" It's good. You still got Bruce Wayne in it, but he's very old.
I think they need to look at the success of Spider-Verse. I know, and just say it, especially for Batman, because Batman sells, Spider-Man sells, Batman sells.
Yeah.
Batman's
Go-
DC's biggest one. Yeah,
And go look like a real high production, lots of money, high budget, big budget Batman animated film would do really well.
It would.
Look at
is Batman?
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Batman
It
is.
would do
Batman
really
is
well.
the most. Yeah, he's been on most films than any other superhero, hasn't he?
Yeah, and
He's the one that gets the general audience to go,
Yes,
Yeah,
like Spider-Man.
he is he's technically the most successful superhero in film, isn't he? Batman.
and they can do the Spider-Verse thing because there have been multiple Batmen.
Yes, of course. There's
So-
loads of Batman.
They can do different stories of it. They can also do, DC has its own multiverse. They can fuck around in multiverse shit if they want and bring different
Get
Batmen.
Thomas Wayne in. Thomas Wayne's got guns. Batman that shoots.
Yeah, or like
Damian Wayne.
What's the one that they did in Justice League, the nightmare scene? Do that as a fucking badass anime.
Nightmare, yeah.
Animation
Azrael
film.
or Batman for a bit.
Yeah,
Like they do,
Bring
do
Adam
a lot
West
of,
in from
there's a
Family
lot
Guy.
of good DC animate films, but the direct to DVD. But if you just
the direct to DVD and they're not great budgets. Like they did The Killing Joke as a film.
No,
and the
not very good.
the animation was fucking terrible in it.
that's what I mean. Give him a lot of money
Yeah,
and top writers and directors, and you could do a Batman Spider-Verse.
Yeah, if I got Batman versus Swamp Thing as a film, that's my
Listen,
life complete.
A Spider-Man film won an Oscar. You could do that with Batman.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I agree. Next.
Final link. Robin Pattinson. Robin. Got me thinking about it.
Robert
Pattinson is eyed for a lead in Neuromancer for an Apple TV series.
I'm so fucking excited for this. I love the Neuromancer.
What's Neuromancer?
Neuromancer is the novel by William Gibson, which effectively created the cyberpunk genre.
Bring it on.
Keanu Reeves appeared in the original movie, didn't he?
well, the original kind of thing is what became Johnny Mnemonic, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I've seen that film. It's shite.
But no, so Neuromancer set like the standard, where you get this kind of American Asian kind of influence together. Where
Yeah.
People who speak English
Americans
and Japanese and Chinese.
eating noodles.
Cities that kind of stretch out over the sea because the land is kind of irradiated or is too full.
Yeah.
The idea of kind of body modification, hacking through your brain, even like the kind of early concepts of like the Matrix, of a Matrix kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's a really good book and a really good series, and it kind of set a lot of the ground for the stuff that we take for granted in cyberpunk now. So I'm very excited if Apple TV.
I'll be honest. I'll be real. Like cyberpunk's a better word for it than Neuromancer.
Well, no, Neuromancer is the title of the book.
I'm just saying the cyberpunk genre.
Yeah,
it sounds better, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's
cool.
It's using Neuromancer in terms of like if you think like pyromancer or necromancer.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
I know what it is.
brain
Yeah,
magician, effectively.
Yeah.
But Apple TV seem to be very focused on putting a lot of money into high concept sci-fi, so I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
Cool. Bring it on. Next.
Well, the last bit about superheroes, The Boys season 4 premieres June the 13th.
Yeah.
Good.
Finally.
Just in time for birthday month for me.
You can't have a month.
I can. Next year I've got a year. I'm so excited. I need more Homelander in my life.
Billy Butcher.
Oh.
Yeah, I think The Boys is one of the best shows for the last five years.
I'll be devastated if it ever drops
Incredible.
in quality because it's been so
I can't see it dropping in quality.
Escalated in quality as it's gone on.
Yeah.
It's like each season has gotten better than the last one because they have to keep outdoing them.
It's produced by Seth Rogen, and everything he seems to produce is amazing.
He's doing the
That's what he's
fucking
doing.
Canadian pottery throwdown at the minute. Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah, everything he does turns to gold lately. When he's not technically the lead in it or anything like that. When he's producing,
when I don't have to hear his laugh.
Super nerd. Yeah, you know, all that. Everything he touches turns to gold. Look at the Ninja Turtles things.
Oh, that
Gold.
Ninja Turtles film was great.
Absolute gold. Seth Rogen's like the best producer at the moment. He's killing it.
He's the uber nerd.
Absolute killer. Loving it. I can't.
There was also a shot in the trailer of the kids from what was the spin-off they did?
Gen V.
Gen V. So I wonder if they'll be playing. Well, they'll almost definitely it's part of lore now. But I wonder if they'll have more of a bigger role. Actually, in the main series, I hope so. It seemed like Gen V was basically the next season of The Boys. So
yeah, it was. It was just the interim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Gen V is coming back for another season, so it's not like it was just a one and done.
So they might pop in and pop out.
Do you know Seth Rogen's producing a reboot of Darkwing Duck?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing because he's doing it.
I loved Darkwing Duck as a kid.
And the original one was good. It's going to be so good.
I am the vengeance that flaps in the night.
A TV miniseries of console wars. Employees at the gaming company Sega tried to make more popular devices than the ones of their dominant rival Nintendo.
Ooh.
He knows his geek shit, doesn't he?
He does.
That's what I'm saying. Everything he touches turns to fucking gold.
He's just fucking sat in his office all day, getting high, reading
Stoned.
comic books, and playing video games. Going, I can make a film out of this. Do you remember Darkwing Duck when we were kids? That was amazing. I don't know. I just hate his laugh so much.
Oh, I love his laugh.
Him and Jimmy Carr, their laughs can get in the bin.
No, Jimmy Carr's is worse.
That's horrible. Oh dear. Cool. Next.
The creator Rogue One director Gareth Edwards is going to be helming the Jurassic World movie.
Next.
That's a great choice, that.
And it's being written by the people who wrote Jurassic Park, isn't it?
It was great.
Yeah, been
People
written
are
by the
clinging
original.
on for this Jurassic Park work. Oh, clinging on.
It's a great world if you could just have a good writer and a good director. So if we have
There's
both
only
on board,
one good Jurassic Park film.
They're going to. I hope they're going to jettison Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and do something different.
Yeah, it's not. It's apparently a whole new thing. I'm not really sure what you can do with it these days, though. How many?
Is
Oh
life
no,
gonna
the
find a way
dinosaurs
again?
got out again.
They got out.
Exactly. How many times can you do
no.
that?
They got out. Oh no.
CEO Mr. Evilman has said we should be splicing genes together so that we can have even more impressive things for people to come and see.
And I bet that CEO's got a really cool flippy phone, and he puts it in his his blazer pocket.
Because people have gotten bored of dinosaurs. Who would get fucking bored of dinosaurs? What would you need to? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not
we've
getting-
made-
I reckon people would. I reckon people would get bored of dinosaurs.
I'm not bored of dinosaurs.
No, I'm saying if it existed in real world and they're in zoos and stuff, people get bored. You're not always going to the zoo, are you?
I go to zoos and never get bored of seeing animals. Safaris, never get bored of seeing them. They're amazing. I'd never get bored of seeing a dinosaur. Besides the fact that to go to a Jurassic World park is probably something you'd only ever be able
Like a
to
once in a
afford to
lifetime
do once
thing.
in a lifetime. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in Hawaii, for fuck's sake.
exactly. Like it's
No,
not
that's
exactly
French Polynesia, isn't it? It's like way out of the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's filmed in Hawaii, isn't it? It's not actually in Hawaii.
It's not exactly like you're going to go to London and there's Jurassic Park there, and you're going to go to Barcelona, there's one there, and like, do you know what I mean? It's not like a zoo. It's
Jurassic Park, Tokyo.
You're gonna be furious if that's what the plot of this one is. It's like inner city dinosaur zoos.
Ugh. I'm just done with that fucking world, me. Ooh, that last
The prob-
film, fucking
The
hell.
last two were terrible. Jurassic World is fine for a reboot.
not.
It just kind of it just does the same thing that the first one does, which is not as good.
Just with better special effects.
Yeah, not always actually.
All right, well, more CGI then.
Next.
I've got a bit of breaking news. I've just won a competition on Twitter. I'm back, baby.
Have you really?
Next.
The look on
Yeah,
fucking Noodles' face.
I've just won a book by Andy Ewington, who did the. It's like a D&D book
yeah, he did the
that meets.
You don't
Terry
even play
Pratchett.
D&D.
He just mate. He just applies to any competition. Doesn't matter what
No,
it is.
I like
He'll
this
enter
guy.
a competition for a lifetime supply of
actually-
tampons.
He's actually
He'd
somebody
enter
I
one
thought about-
fucking Daily Mail. Just for a lifetime site Daily Mail. He won't read it. He'll just enter it.
He's actually somebody that I thought about even asking to come on the podcast as a guest. I don't know if
Oh,
he'd
that's why you won it.
Yeah, I mean,
Collusion.
I've before I left Twitter, I talked to Andy Ewington a few times. He's a canny lad.
Yeah, so I think it might be someone could be a future guest if I can work it out. I'll DM him.
Hi.
and, see.
Instead of the book, can you come on
DM
my
him.
podcast instead? Fucking Joe, you're a wretch.
He did that book with that I got the Creatures and Companions
Biggie.
one, like the pets playing
That's
D&D.
Yeah.
It makes you sick, doesn't it, Stig? It makes you sick to your stomach.
More power to you,
And-
Biggie.
Yeah, cool. Next, I'm next in myself. Connecting Worlds, the Hideo Kojima documentary, is now available on Disney Plus.
More on that later.
Oh,
Cool.
Know what Candy's doing tonight?
yep. Oh, well, that's exciting.
More on that later.
Okay, and finally to the Weird World Web.
I didn't say next.
I've been sitting on this one for a little while. Go on, say next.
Next.
Florida Joker says he's given up on his $10 million GTA 6 lawsuit threats because he
wonder
now
fucking
wants
why.
to voice the character instead.
Stig said that. Stig said that on this fucking podcast. He said, why don't you just be that person?
Just lean into
you
it.
said that, Stig. Can you remember?
Lean into
And he's
it.
listened to it. He must listen to this podcast.
Like you were
He
never going to win
previously
any
claimed
lawsuit against them. Just lean into it.
Lean into it and get
Yeah.
paid for it.
He previously claimed that developer Rockstar Games and publisher Take-Two had stolen his likeness for use in the GTA 6 trailer, going as far as to demanding $1 million in compensation. He then dyed his hair purple to further show his similarity to the in-game model, before threatening to free the GTA 6 hacker from prison and upping his compensation to a whopping $10 million asking price. He's now dropped all legal threats in a newly released TikTok video, instead asking the companies to work with him. He said, GTA Rockstar, Take-Two, we gotta talk. I'm not suing you anymore, but you're still out of your goddamn nuggets. It's been 2 whole months. 2 months, y'all. Haven't reached out to me. Still haven't messaged me. Let's do what's right. Show me like 50,000, 100,000. Let me voice the character. Let me go meet and greets. Let me promote the game.
Sorry, when you're reading out his dialogue, Biggie, in your accent, you just sound like fucking Garth Marenghi. He's like,
Florida truly is a
you're still out of your
hellscape.
goddamn nuggets.
He's just an average Florida citizen. That's the thing.
He's just
I
a
just-
heavily tattooed man who
I've
probably is on
been
meth.
twice, and every time I've gone, I felt like I'm in some kind of hellscape. But this just solidifies it.
I think
It's just
the funny thing
it's
is
not a real place.
the funny thing is he's got no concept of the idea of parody and satire, and that they're taking the piss out of him because he calls him. People call him the Florida Joker, so of course he's such a minor enough celebrity that yes, they are going to rip the piss out of him.
It's just a joke.
And they're not going to pay him 50 grand or 100 grand or voice the character. The character's not going to be in the game. He's just there for the fucking trailer.
Do you know what, though? The
characters
thing
that look
is
like
now
that in the game.
That Rockstar will do something where they have him on a news report or on the radio.
Yeah, he's going to be in the game.
Doing something awful.
Threatening to sue like a company. They
He's
will.
going to be threatening to sue like
do
Lifehacker
something with
or
that
something,
character
isn't he?
now. Just yeah.
Joke. Absolute joke. Cool. That is the news. Thank you very much, Biggie, for that hard-hitting, just great content. Let's get on to the main show. Candy, what the bloody hell have you been up to this week?
Just a couple of littlies, actually. A couple of little doodads. So first off, to get ready for Rebirth, I started playing Intermission, which is the DLC for Final Fantasy Remake, starring Yuffie.
Me too.
I was never into playing it before, but my God, Yuffie is fun to play. Who knew playing a little ninja is... she's a zappy little thing, isn't she? But
she's a wee one.
Yeah, but I'm only about an hour in. It's probably exactly what you would expect it to be.
Has she taken her hood off yet?
Not yet, no. Not yet.
Okay. Get ready for that scene.
Oh, I can't wait for that unveiling then. But yeah, just to pass the time. Oh, I'm so pumped for Rebirth. I need it now. I need it in my life.
What's so good is that combat system is just sublime.
It's perfect.
It really is sublime. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. It's better than Final Fantasy 16's combat system.
I think it is, yeah. Actually, like, looking back at Final Fantasy 16, I think it was maybe a bit more forgettable than I'd hoped at the time. Like, the first half of it was great, second half kind of shat the bed a bit.
On retrospect, yeah, I prefer. It's not that high up.
Yeah, I mean, looking back,
when you finish it, you're pumped. You're like, fucking hell, that was amazing. Retrospect, you're like, was I controlling that game? No.
Yeah. But I've been looking at the How Long to Beats, because obviously the journalists are allowed to talk about their experiences with Rebirth now, and a couple of YouTubers have played it already, and it seems like it's about between 50 hours and 80 hours to beat the main story, so it's going to be a chunky
Only a little game then.
Yeah, just a small one. I know the size of it is huge. I know it's on 2 discs. I know it's something like 120 gigs.
2 discs?
Yeah, my God. But yeah, like, it seems as though that actually is 2 discs worth of story rather than 2 discs worth of nice, pretty graphics. So that's something to look forward to.
I know where it ends now because I read a review and I don't know what, it was not really a spoiler because I know the story, but I know where this game ends about in the timeline of the original game, and it's not where I thought.
See, I could take a stab in the dark about where it might end, but I might be wrong.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
The other thing I've been doing, and this is just pure gorgeousness in YouTube. I found a new YouTube channel. It's called Ants Canada, and it's this guy that he has basically an ant farm. This sounds awful. It's not. It's great.
In Canada.
In Canada, I would assume he started a website, but actually he's got a giant rainforest vivarium, and it's this 100-gallon thing. It's ridiculously big, and every week he introduces a new species of insect to it, and it's his own sort of biome. So he doesn't sort of interject if something's killing another. He just lets it get on. Something new's grown every something.
You can't play God.
Well, literally, but it's the production value on this little thing. I think it comes out every Sunday, and it's about half hour long. But it's like the production value of a David Attenborough show. It's so good. It's so captivating. And there's all these.
Has he got one of them super zoom in cameras?
Yeah, and he's got all these little dramas going on between these different groups of insects and animals and stuff.
Did they make them talk like Meerkat Manor?
No, not like Meerkat Manor. But the latest one that I saw today, there's so he's got a green praying mantis, a lady. He introduced a grey praying mantis as a arranged marriage, if you will. She ended up eating him.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
It all absolutely kicked off. It seemed like, she was like, chase me for a minute. He did chase her. It all went Pete Tong. The week before that, this group of ants had started to take control of the place. It's riveting. It sounds dreadful, but it's the most captivating, wholesome thing you can spend your time having a cup of tea with. It's lovely.
Stig will love it. It loves animals.
And insects. The one before, he put 50 Huntsman spiders into the tank. Wasn't so keen on that one.
Gadget will watch that one. On repeat.
No.
I mean, they were babies, so it's kind of cute, but the big mama was not so good. But yeah, no, it's lovely. It's just...
There's one behind you, Gadget.
Babies are minging. Baby spiders are minging.
Oh, these are kind of cute. They'll probably all die off
spiders
anyway.
have got legs like puppies. So cute.
But yeah, lovely, wholesome way to spend half an hour if you've got the time. But yeah, I didn't have a super busy week. But
the only good bug is a dead bug, Gadget says.
Oh yeah, I'm doing my part.
Yes. Well, that's a solid week because it's a productive week, isn't it? In my opinion.
Well, it's the calm before the storm. You see, I'm just having a nice, calm, relax before rebirth.
I don't know if I'm going to get.
That sounds like you're about to have a religious experience.
When I get on rebirth, though, when I get to that
soul.
piano again, that's me stuck again on the piano for hours.
I didn't even find the fucking piano the first time round. I need to go and find it.
It's in the bedroom. It's in the bedroom with the knickers.
You can't miss it.
Or the lack of.
I did
I can't wait.
I'll stay away from the piano. I didn't need it.
I'll go next. I've done 3 things this week, but I'm not going to talk about much on 2 of them. The first thing is, yes, I have been drafted to the army, haven't I, Gadget? To the Intergalactic Space Marine Corps, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called.
You're fighting for Super Earth, is what you're doing.
Super Earth, yeah. What's the actual army called in that? The Navy?
It's the SES, but I can't remember what it actually stands for. But yes, you're a Helldiver.
I am now currently Sergeant of the SES Ombudsman of Eternity, my own dropship. All week I have been dropping into planets and killing bugs and killing automatons. That game's fucking great.
It is. It's so good. I've put in about 15 hours this week. And now they've kind of up the amount of people you can have on the servers. It's fixed.
Fixed. It works.
You can go on there, and it's. I think what's helping it, and the more I'm playing it, realizing it's just a really simple gameplay loop. You drop in, you shoot some shit, you go home, and there's objectives to do that. But again, it's fun.
No one's talking about this apart from me, someone who can't shoot. But the actual way it helps you shoot is incredible. I've never seen that in this kind of game.
Yeah, there's
the only other game that allows me to feel this good when I can't shoot is Call of Duty campaigns.
There's kind of like a soft auto aim if you're using a controller. Like it helps. Yeah. It helps you get to where your bullets need to be.
Yeah, it's almost as if the gun's directing me where to. It's so like forgiving.
Yeah, it's not forgiving when you start upping the difficulty. I've been playing on challenging difficulty with a few people this week, and it lives up to the name. It's it's brutal. Like you just start getting lots of really big things, and you're still squishy. Like I
killed one of them Titan bug things.
I haven't faced up against them yet. I'm not brave enough to.
We got very lucky because someone did a drop pod and it killed it.
There's been some really fun. There's still some kind of like glitches and bugs with the game. Some of them have been really fucking funny. Was the night I was playing with you and Joe, Hallmark of Greatness. After you went off, we did another round.
I didn't go off. It kicked me.
Wait, when it kicked you off, we finished the round. And we dropped an artillery on one of those big charging fuckers. Yeah. And it bounced off the armor with a plink. Yeah. And like me and Joe just sat there going, we were dropping a war crime here. And it bounced off it. And
it's great, but I don't want to get into it anymore because we'll talk about ad nauseum, me and Gadget. The other thing I've done, what a waste of my fucking time. I watched the Screen Actors Guild Awards, the whole thing.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't like award shows?
Do you know what? Like my interest in award shows, I'm quite interested to see who wins and who makes a funny speech, but the rest of it.
I've seen the Pedro Pascal speech. Great.
I even watched
speech is amazing.
I even watched the whole hour before it of the red carpet.
What's wrong with you? Have you been having a moment this week, or were you just that hungover today?
That's when I watched it today.
You're hungover.
I've never seen an award show so poorly done in my life. It's fucking atrocious. There's one bit where Meryl Streep came out and nearly knocked fuck out at Mike. She nearly walked and knocked it over. Everyone was pissed.
I think it's just one where they get pissed Because the Oscars
Everyone was
and the Golden
pissed.
Globes is meant to be more prestigious, and they just go because it's part of their guild, and they just go.
I'm telling you now,
it.
every single person that went up on stage, apart from Brendan Fraser, was pissed.
Mate,
Everyone.
Mate, the Screen Actors Guild is just the fucking union. It's just their end of year party.
I know, but they were all
awards.
They were waiting for teleprompter too much as well, and they were going. And
I did see the Breaking Bad one where Bob Odenkirk was like, "I'm not reading that."
Yeah,
they had something set up for him. He was like, "I'm not reading that. It's too cheesy. Sod that."
Yeah, he did. It was just abysmal. Like everything about because it was live streamed on Netflix as well, and everything was. They kept cutting away. They kept not turning the mics off when they should have turned the mics on. They're going, "Oh, thank fuck for that." You know what I mean?
Fucking crew's pissed as well. They're all pissed.
Oh, it was just abysmal. I don't recommend it to anyone. But something I did watch this week, and the main thing I want to talk about is Hideo Kojima Connecting Worlds. I watched this week. So everyone knows I am one of the... and Candy and Gadget and Stig to a... I don't know about Biggie. I don't know if he's a big Hideo Kojima fan, but...
Yeah, I am. What's wrong with you?
Okay, this podcast is a fan of Hideo Kojima.
As a collective, we are Hideo Kojima fans.
The author that given us Metal Gear Solid... Death Stranding, you know the guy. You know the guy, Japanese lad.
I finished all 4 Metal Gear Solid games. I didn't finish 5.
Well, you're not
so then you haven't
for them.
Then you
I
haven't
didn't finish
finished
5
all the
either.
Metal Gear Solid games.
But never mind. They didn't finish it either, so don't worry about it.
No, they did not finish it. But yeah, massive fan, and I forgive anything that anyone says. I'll just hero worship and stuff. This documentary is shite.
Oh, no.
Candy's face.
Oh, you've broken Candy, man. What are you doing?
Oodles, if you pause it at this moment, this is the moment of heartbreak.
This documentary is basically... I know he doesn't say this, but it was produced, directed, written by Hideo Kojima. It is the biggest puff piece I've ever seen in my life of a man nearly in his 60s staring off into the distance telling everyone how much of a genius he is. It was fucking pathetic. It is all the way through. I'm just tutting. No. I was just tutting going, this is wank. This is absolute dross. Tell me about how you make games. Not how your brain is just this sieve of amazingness and how you somehow produce this all on your own. Not with your fucking 500 team behind you, 500 strong team behind you. Just you, Hideo. Just you. It's made me dislike him a bit. It really has. It's just, oh, it's so bad. It's intersected with these beautifully anime scenes of him as a boy and stuff, and how even as a boy he was a genius. When someone, I hate puff pieces where they know it's like some puff pieces. The person in question doesn't know they're making that puff piece on him, but he knew, and he knew the camera on him. They were interviewing him, and he's just absolutely big. He's got George Miller turning up saying he's a genius. He's got Jeff Keighley showing up saying he's a genius. Guillermo del Toro, Tommy Earl Jenkins, Shinji Mikami comes on. Fucking Norman Reedus, Jeff Keighley, all of them. To just come on and say...
all his mates,
how lucky they are to be in his presence and stuff like that. And it's just... it made me sick. Aww. It's fucking horrible. Candy's going to love it.
Do you want to know a fun fact about the documentary? Connecting Worlds is shorter than Metal Gear Solid 4's longest cutscene.
It's not a long documentary.
I fell asleep in that cutscene when I played that game. It was so long.
The ending cutscene from Metal Gear Solid 4 is 71 minutes long, and this documentary is 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's not long. It's not, but long. It's just proper like minging. Do you know what I mean? When they're bigging themselves up so much, and it's just like, all right, have you got any flaws? It's just I don't know. Some people will not see it for what it is. Some people just see it as like, oh, it's just a lost in translation thing. It's not. I mean, it's a lot of subtitles to read and stuff. I don't think it's a translation. He's literally just bigging himself up from beginning to end. What will I do next with my genius? Is one of the closing statements.
It's so weird because I can't comment on Death Stranding too much because I've only played it a little bit, but I think what he did with gaming was, different, and he
is
changed
genius. Don't get me wrong. He is a genius, but he shouldn't be calling himself a genius.
So were Naughty Dog. So were I don't know.
No, but you should be
they've
humble.
done with their games. It's just
I've never once heard Steven Spielberg saying, "I'm a fucking genius." Do you know what I mean? I've never seen other auteurs sucking their own dicks so hard. It's just a bit. I don't know. It just left a foul taste in my mouth. A really foul taste in my mouth, and I was like, "I bet you're a prick to work with." It really gave me that impression. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
It's even annoying in Cyberpunk.
He's just sat in the pub.
Yeah, he's just sat in the pub. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just like overthinking it. But yeah, it's weird when, like, even when I watch football documentaries and stuff. David Beckham's documentary, he's not walking around saying, "I'm a genius." He never said it once. You know what I mean? He said, "Somehow I'm really good at kicking balls." Do you know what I mean? Somehow. I mean, I've worked hard for it. You're allowed to say that you work hard for something, but you're not allowed to turn around and go, "But I am the best. I am the genius." Do you know? I don't know. Maybe you'll get something different from it, but don't expect to see a lot of game making in it and stuff like that.
Oh,
really, don't. It's just you get to see a lot of him in new nice sunglasses walking around Japan, talking about his genius. It's pretty shy. So Disney Plus anyway.
Have you got his book?
Even the title's
Gene?
a bit arsey.
I daren't read his fucking book.
Yeah, I've got it, and I haven't read it yet. And now
is he sucking his own dick in
I
that?
haven't read it, but maybe I should now. I'm sure it probably is.
I remember the day I came into this world out of my mother's vagina. Then I knew I was a genius. It's just fucking it's made me feel a bit sick. It's put a foul taste in my mouth, so I can't recommend it in all good conscience. But there it is. It's an hour long. You decide. People, I wonder.
His mother's labour was a lot quicker than his cutscene.
I don't know if it's been reviewed well or anything like that. I'm not.
It's like a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Does anyone say he's been sucking his own dick? Because they could put that on the box quote.
No.
Okay, but yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Stig?
A couple of things this week. First one that I want to talk about is a game. I needed something a little bit different to play on the Ally after I'd finished Dragon Quest. And I saw this as a game from last year, which no one seemed to be talking about. Chants of Sennaar. Anyone heard of it? Seen it?
I've heard the name.
So
I can't remember anything about it.
Is a puzzle.
That's a language game or something.
It's like a puzzle adventure game by Focus Entertainment, and it's inspired by the Tower of Babel or Babel.
I say Babel.
I'd say Babel. Anyway, so it's inspired by that. You're kind of working your way up this level. But the fun thing about it, as Biggie says, it's this language game. It's a puzzle game where you are thrown into this kind of Greek-looking world. It's isometric view, and you don't know any of the language. You have to figure out all the hieroglyphics by listening to conversations and looking at actions and looking at what's on the walls and where it is. And you have to try and piece together this language as you go through the game to try and progress through it. It's ridiculously clever, and it's such a good brain teaser of a game. So you kind of start off in this area, and before you meet anyone, you see all these like big mosaics on the wall, and it has these symbols on the bottom, and you kind of depicting what's going on there. And as you talk to people, you'll see, like at one point, this little boy kind of says, he kind of gestures to you, saying, points at you. He's like, "Follow me," like that. So that symbol there that he's saying means to follow. So you can go in there into the options. You can write, "I think that means follow," and then you got a little sketchbook which you sketch stuff in, and then you match those symbols to the little sketchbook. And if you get it right, it reveals it. Yes, this is that word, or it's a similar word to it. So, for example, I put human down for one, and I put it on there, and it says yes, it's right, but they're called devotees. And I put priest, but I put priest, but it was down as devotee. And human or man was just human or something like that. And guard was warrior. So it kind of works it out for you and tells you if you've done it right. It
gives you the synonym for it.
Yes, basically.
If you're close enough, it'll say, well, it's actually this, but you're close enough.
Yeah. And that's the game, really. It's this isometric, really...
Has it got guns in it?
Nice looking... No. There's no combat or anything like that. There's some stealth sections when you get into areas with the guards, and you've got to kind of move yourself around and get into areas and stuff like that to So there's a little bit of stealth to go in some bits. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a really good puzzle game. I definitely would recommend picking it up. I think it did quite well, actually, with reviews.
It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam. I just looked up, it was actually already in my wish list, so I might pick that up.
It just came out on one of the best years of gaming ever.
Yeah, it just seemed to go. It came out in September. No one seemed to talk about it. I was kind of looking at indie games from last year and like a list of indie games to look at, and that was in the list. And that looks really interesting.
And I think Sean on like TCGS have played it. I think that's what I heard.
Of course, he did.
It's really, really Matt, good.
One of the two.
Like it gets you a bit stuck. As I got a bit stuck on it. I was like, I think this means that, and that means that, but then that doesn't work with that.
Did you feel like Brody from Indiana Jones? You feel like you were deciphering stuff?
Oh yeah, no, but you sit there and you put it together and you go, well, that looks right, and then you'll look at another conversation and you'll think, but then it doesn't look right there, and there was one point where I was like, I can't figure this out at all. And then suddenly something clicked. And from that, it was like ping, 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 ping. Like, I just ended up unlocking about 7 or 8 different other words.
I do like it when a puzzle game lets you do that, where you sit and struggle bust it for about an hour, and then all of a sudden you can unlock about 10 things.
Yeah, because you figured that one thing out, and it means, right, I know what this means now, what that means now, what this means now. And you've also, there is items to pick up which help you within the world. Like there was like this, like keys and this monocle that I had to find, which helped me open something and look through, and then a spear that helped me move an object. So it's more to it than just deciphering the language.
Oh.
But that's out on Switch, PlayStation.
What's it called?
Chants of Sennaar.
How would you spell Sennaar?
Sennaar.
Okay.
It was developed by a 2-man team, Julian Moyer and Thomas Panuel. So yeah, a really good independent game that I recommend. And then the other thing I watched this week was I watched The Iron Claw. So The Iron Claw came out last year in America. It's just come out over here. It's a biographical sports drama about the wrestling family, the Von Erichs. If you know anything about the Von Erichs, horrendous.
Where do you begin?
Absolute tragedy of a family.
The
whole story is about it's a retired wrestler, Fritz Von Erich, who kind of pushes his boys into the world of professional wrestling.
Oh yes, I've heard this on the Vince McMahon Behind the Bastards.
Yeah, it stars Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Holt McAlhenney. Lily James, and yeah, it's just about the kind of awful story that happened to the Von Erichs. He kind of pushed them really hard to the point where he used to rank his children. So he'd be like, "Oh, this week Kevin's the favorite. Kerry, if you manage to do this, or David, you might be able to move up into top spot if you do this," and stuff like that. He used to sit him down and rank his children. That's like how competitive he was. He was obsessed with them becoming like world champions and becoming like the top dogs in professional wrestling.
Back when people thought wrestling was like a real when it wasn't predestined and stuff.
Yeah, he was very much in that time where like he played basically Fritz Von Erich was like a kind of Nazi character, German character. Like that's not his real name. Von Erich wasn't his real name, but he leaned into that. What don't people like at the moment?
Nazis.
Germans, people like that. Yeah, so he kind of he lent into that.
Nazis are really gone out of favour these days, don't you think?
Yeah, it used to be so in vogue.
Now the thing with this film is, it doesn't even have all of the children in it. The director left out one of the children because he said, "I think
too tragic.
It would be too tragic to do."
Yeah. It's just too much, isn't it? Because
too much.
No, genuinely, the real story is fucking harrowing.
I've heard the abridged version of the real story.
Oh, it's awful.
When it went through again, because Behind the Bastards did that like 6-part Vince McMahon one, and
it's a good way to explain him as well. Bastard.
Yeah, the Fritz Von Erich's part of the story took up about one of the episodes because it was going through like the history of how like WWF came to be and how like Worldwide Wrestling became that thing, and that was a big part of the story of like how fucking awful some people were before they actually got to Vince.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one thing it doesn't really touch on is the steroid use. There's a small little hint of it at one point, and
is it smaller than the hint in Rocky IV? Well, that one shot. I mean,
there's one scene of him injecting steroids, and that is it. Like, that's what you get. But it could be steroids, it could be painkillers, it could be anything. They never out and out say like
could be penicillin
pushing steroids, but they clearly were. I mean, fucking size of them. You can't. They couldn't have been. And the cocaine use and the cocaine dealing and all that kind of stuff is all kind of left to the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all really good. Everyone's really great.
I want to
watch
film.
it. Zac Efron is just fucking stacked.
As I've seen the pictures of him, it doesn't look like himself anymore.
No, he's huge in this. I don't want to spoil it because it's a film, but it's a real life thing.
Don't spoil it.
I tell you what, I'll put the spoiler klaxon in here so you can talk about the real life bit of it.
Yeah. Can I talk about the real life film? Is everyone okay with that?
I know it.
Yeah, spoiler klaxon here. Skip ahead to 1 hour 20 to avoid spoilers for the tragic story of the Von Erich family. It's rough going.
Von Erichs, the mother had 6 children. One of them died as a child when he drowned in a puddle. I think he had a fit or something and drowned in a puddle.
Yes.
She then had 5 other children. One of them died when he was out on tour in Japan from a ruptured intestine because he didn't go to see a doctor because he was pushed so hard. But you've got to do this, you've got to do that. So rather than going to see a doctor, he just carried on wrestling and he died from a ruptured intestine. The 3 others killed themselves. There's only 1 child left.
Jesus.
It is so harrowing and awful, the story of them. And the likes of Kerry Von Erich he was a discus thrower. He was going to go to the Olympics until America pulled out of the Moscow Olympics. Yeah. And so he had nothing to do with his life and decided, I'll take up professional wrestling. And just them pushing themselves too much, the drinking, the drugs, it just got to them all. And then, it was just horrendous. And it's 2 of them, one of them had an accident in the ring, and then he went into shock during an operation, septic shock, which left him partly brain damaged. One of them lost his foot in a motorbike accident. This is all in the film. I apologize that I am spoiling the film, but this is kind of a real life story, and I just want to say how fucking tragic this film is, and it's a very good film about.
I know about the story of them anyway because I've read a book about it years ago, but when I watched the trailer to this film, I was like, are they going to go into all this? And the trailers are like, wrestling film!
Yeah, the wrestling in it is actually really good. They do a really good job of filming the wrestling. The actors, Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White, they all actually did the wrestling. There's no body doubles or anything. They really went full in on making this look authentic. That is all really, really good. But this isn't a wrestling film. It's very much like Rocky isn't a boxing film. That's the backdrop to this other story going on, and that's very much what this film is.
I highly recommend it then.
Yes, but you do not go looking for a Fight With My Family style wrestling romp, because that is not what you are getting.
That's one thing that having seen the trailers and all the billboards, it doesn't look like it's a laugh-a-minute film, but it doesn't. There's no indication of just how fucking tragic the story is going to be.
No, because it looks like it's marketed as like stuff like Warrior and it's boxing films and stuff.
There's a hint of a death in the trailer, but it's nowhere near as tragic as what you actually get.
But the film seems to be marketed like, this is like a wrestling version of Rocky. It's that kind of thing. It's like it's just it's marketed just as a wrestling film rather than as a telling the tale of an awful cunt and what he did to his children.
Yeah, it's a hard watch.
End klaxon.
Yeah. So, when you go on about me listening to depressing sci-fi novels, you've had a couple of weeks there, Stig. Because you had Zone of Interest last week.
Yeah.
If only this was science fiction.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything that I've been done is real life.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah. Maybe you should watch something really like light-hearted next week, Stig.
Well, like Schindler's List.
Well, no.
Comparatively speaking.
I don't know, like fucking Minions. Can you watch the next Minions film for us?
I've seen them already.
I think I'd rather watch Schindler's List.
Again. That was all right.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. Gadget, what you been up to, mate?
I've had a bit of a biggie week, so I've been basically doing the same thing that I was doing last week. It's mostly been Helldivers. I've been quite obsessed with it. But I think I want to give a bit more time to the book that I mentioned last week, which is Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So like last week, I only gave it a couple of minutes because I was enjoying it, but I didn't really have all the details for it. Like, I'm close to finishing it. I'm not far off the end of it, but I just kind of want to talk it up a bit more because I think I didn't give it enough time to basically say, like, this is a really, really amazing book. You might win this book, Biggie. So, as I said last week, it's a 2015 sci-fi novel by Adrian Tchaikovsky. What I didn't realise is that it was awarded the Arthur C. Clarke Award for the best science fiction of the year in 2016.
Oh, well, now you have my interest.
Yeah.
You should have said that.
And some of the kind of critical reviews of it have basically praised it of having like the sense of wonder that Arthur C. Clarke put into his books.
No, fuck off! You're trying to get me in now.
I'm trying to get you in. So, as I mentioned last week, it's a post-Earth colonization novel where it starts off with like this Imperial starship is terraforming a planet, and it all goes wrong. There's kind of a terrorist attack on the ship. And there's like the one scientist who's in charge of the terraforming project escapes, and she's the only one left. And part of the terraforming project is this kind of bioengineered virus which pushes evolution forwards. And the idea of this colonization thing was the Empire...
Like Prometheus.
A little bit like Prometheus, yeah. But the idea of this bioengineering thing was that Earth was so far gone and the Empire was falling. So rather than like trying
in 2024,
rather than try and save the existing humans that there were now, they were going to re-evolve humans by sending some monkeys down to a terraformed planet, giving them this virus, and over 30 years, several generations would come up and they'd be pretty
sure that's what King Koopa were doing in the Mario Brothers film.
Probably. But it all goes a bit tits up, and the virus, all the monkeys die, and instead the virus infects spiders and ants and insects. So the main story takes place kind of about 2,000 years after this, when Earth has fallen and gone to like Mad Max times, and then rebuilt itself back up to be a spacefaring race again. But then the ice caps have melted, Earth is toxic, so they have to escape. So they've got these big kind of colony ships. Everyone's in suspended animation, looking for a new place for humanity. And the ship, the Gilgamesh, happens upon Kern's world, this terraformed planet.
That's a cool name for a ship, Gilgamesh the Traveller.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
I've heard that before.
Gilgamesh. It's the Persian myth.
No, it's in something else. Sorry, Gadget. Just Gilgamesh.
There's a Gilgamesh in Final Fantasy.
It's been pretty well... It's a name that gets well used in fantasy and science fiction.
Yeah. The Traveller.
Yeah. So the rest of the novel then takes place between these spiders who have evolved and become hyper intelligent, and over generations. So the spider that you always follow is called Portia, as I mentioned last week. It's part of the species. It's one of the species, not the same Portia every time the chapter goes back, because this is generation after generation after generation. And there are interesting concepts in that this virus allows them to have shared memories from generation to generation, or that they can pass information by mating, as in like information can be coded into the sperm and they have sex and all that kind of thing, and it kind of pushes information forward that way. And it's called, they're referred to as understandings. But spider sex, yeah. But then as the novel goes on, the spider society gets more and more complicated and convoluted, and they regard, there's the satellite where the scientist from the very beginning of the book is basically in suspended animation, sending a message down to the planet to like wait for when the monkeys got intelligent. and they start to worship this thing as a messenger. And then
like
it becomes...
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, and then they become... It becomes like a religious thing for them. They end up with religious doctrine, and they end up with like something that resembles kind of Catholicism, where you've got to follow the church at all times, that kind of thing.
That's what they did on the Planet of the Apes sequel, where those mutants were worshipping the atom bomb, weren't they?
Yeah. So that's that side of the story. Then the other side of the story is the humans 2,000 years after this, so plenty of time for things to evolve, turn up at Kern's world, and their technology has had to re-evolve after the fall of Earth. So they're trying to understand the satellite that Dr. Kern is in.
It's an easy read, then, isn't it?
It's easier to read than it is to describe. It does these interesting things for science fiction concepts, because the Gilgamesh does go to like several different planets over this, but there's no warp drive in this one. This is like like slingshotting around suns and getting out of there. So they all go into suspended animation. So you're following one character throughout it. Every time he wakes up out of suspended animation, it's been like 100 or 250 years or whatever.
It's like the Expanse and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but whenever he wakes up,
it seems to have a mixture of everything, doesn't it, in a good way? Whenever
he wakes up, something has gone weird or something's gone wrong. Like at one point, he wakes up and like all the people on the ship have become like cultists to the captain, because he's he's implied to them that he's a god. There's like a whole mind backup thing like in Soma, and that becomes like a really big plot point. It's one of the most fascinating sci-fi books I've ever read. I think it's fucking amazing. And it's not fucking Starship Troopers combat or anything like that, and it's not like The Expanse where it's kind of... The Expanse by comparison is kind of small scale, because it's just one solar system.
It's just Earth, isn't it? Earth against Mars.
Yeah. This is different because ultimately this is the survival of the human race, because on the Gilgamesh, that's all the humans that are left. So they have to find somewhere
Pandorum.
to go.
Remember Pandorum?
I remember Pandorum. That film was better than people thought it made it.
It's a good film. Fuck anyone else.
And it had very early Norman Reedus death.
Very. Spoiler alert.
But before he had his long hair. But yeah, I would really recommend, if you enjoy hard sci-fi, Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Oodles, you're going to fucking love this one.
I know I am. I'm pissed off. But it's going to be philosophical, and you know I love a bit of philosophy.
Oh yeah, and critical of kind of religion and gods and stuff like that. And
no comment. Love religion.
But it's a complete series. There are 2 other books after this: Children of Ruin and Children of Memory. So you can read all 3.
June.
You can read all 3 books without worrying that that he's going to do like a fucking Patrick Rothfuss on you.
Just downloaded it.
George R.R. Martin.
Get on the candy.
The Eternals, Oodles. Gilgamesh is in the Eternals.
Gilgamesh is in the Eternals. He's the strong one. He's a strong one, isn't he?
Yeah.
In Persian myth, he's a traveller.
I'll add that to my watch list.
Read list.
Read list. Read list, that's what I meant.
Cool. Excellent, Gadget. Biggie, finish me off. Good and proper.
Wish list.
Yeah, so as previously mentioned, I've been reading the Dark Knight Returns. Just a very quick reminder to people, if you haven't read it, came out in the late 80s.
Fucking read it.
It's a 4-issue comic book mini-series. It's fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Thanks to Stiggy, I checked out Where Evil Lurks and really enjoyed that. Thank you for that. That's fantastic. And that put me on to another movie that I discovered. This is a bit older. Came out in 2021. It's called The Sadness. It's a Taiwanese body horror film. It's kind of very loosely, and I mean this, it's inspired perhaps by the very dodgy Garth Ennis graphic novel, The Crossed. And if you remember me mentioning that, it was about the infected and crossed act on their worst impulses, like being infected in The Sadness do. The catastrophic virus transforms people into near-mindless serial killers, rapists, cannibals, and mutilation enthusiasts. Basically, this is the same in the Taiwanese movie The Sadness. It has a very slow build-up. It's about a couple that get separated when all the chaos starts, and then just everything in between is mental. It just gets real body horror. It's gruesome. It's just all over the shop. It has an ending very much like The Mist because it ain't happy. I'm going to tell you that now.
So what we're saying is we've all had an uplifting week with what we've been watching and or listening to.
It is brutal and involves a live skull fucking at one point.
Hell, man!
Spoiler alert!
What's this streaming on?
You can get it on Shudder, I think.
I've already got it on my watch list. So someone must have recommended it to me before.
Stig, you like skullfuckery?
Bonkers. It is right up there with the kind of stuff that you see in The Boys. It's out there. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in this movie. It's brutal. There's a subway scene which is just intense. It starts off really slowly and then it escalates and escalates and escalates to the end.
Sounds like a nice Sunday afternoon watch.
I don't know why you get into these moods to watch these awful horror films. Like I've never sat down and
switch off afterwards. It's fine. It's not a problem.
No, it's not that. It's just like I've never been in the mood to just sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to put Hellraiser on. I've always been like I've seen these films, but it's always with other people, and they've gone, you've got to watch this, and then afterwards I'm like, I wish I'd not watched that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like I was with Veronica? Or like you
I'm not going to get in bed and watch some fucking disgusting body horror film. It's just not something I do.
Linking from that, the wife and I have started my second watch of The Last of Us. We're only up to episode 2, but thoroughly re-enjoying a rewatch of that.
See, I think body horror works as a component of something else.
I like it in The Thing, for instance.
Yeah, like The Thing, or like Alien, or like The Last of Us. Like body horror works as a part of something. I can't watch something that is pure body horror.
That's why I can't watch Saw.
I can't watch anything Eli Roth's made.
Yeah,
no,
the sadness is the same.
No.
But the sadness is influenced by, when you had the pandemic, it's a virus.
Oh, I get its need to exist in the medium. I'm not saying stop it. I've just never been in the mood. Like other day, I was like, oh, I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to put the Muppets film on, and I did. I watched the Muppets. It's just the way
I forgot to mention, it was actually edited and directed and written by Rob Jabaz, who's actually from Canada. But yeah, everything.
I thought you said Jim Henson then.
But yeah, he's a Canadian filmmaker, but also was an animator, so he knows what he's doing with the special effects. They're very good.
I can't do it. I'd love to watch some of these films that you and Stig and Candy talk about all the time, but it's just maybe I'm just too soft.
Oodles, we'll sit and watch our cartoons. That's just all we need to do.
Yeah, just watch his cartoons.
I tell you what, it's a more brutal version of Train to Busan. It's got similarities to that movie.
I mean, that were enough.
That was a pretty fucking brutal film. Excellent film. Don't get me wrong, I love Train to Busan. Excellent film, but Jesus
just dial it up to 11 and that's what this movie is.
That was supposed to be dialed up to 11. That was sold to me as
it only went to about 9, I'd say.
No, the fucking Train to Busan was sold to me as, it's Dawn of the Dead, but it's dialed up to 11.
But brutal.
Like, fucking hell. Yeah.
It's so good, that film, though.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Busan, watch it. It's fucking excellent.
Yeah. It's really good. A lot of these, like, frightening films are good, but I just feel minging after. I want to watch Midsommar because you guys were saying it was so good, and I watched it. I felt sick. I just felt sick after it.
But I've read Crossed, and I thought it was something that was just very similar to The Boys, was just unfilmable. I just thought you could never do that, but clearly someone has. They've done it.
Yeah, I suppose. Badass. Cool. What a week. What a horrendous, horrific week we've had.
What an uplifting week we've all had.
Yeah, wow. Have any of our listeners had an uplifting week?
Well, some of them have, because, Oodles, you're going to enjoy this. King Hagrid's coming first, one of our patrons. We love this man.
I love him anyway.
Well, you're going to love me.
All of our patrons.
Yeah, you're going to love him even more. He says, after catching up with last week's Green Room, I'm starting Dragon Quest XI.
There we go.
We got one.
If it's as easy to pick up and put down as much as I want, it will suit my game time and playstyle.
It really is. There's no rush. Do not rush it.
I tell you what, one thing, because obviously I haven't played as much Dragon Quest XI as the rest of you. The one thing I do appreciate is when I do go back to it, it gives me a synopsis of what the story up to the point I'm at.
Yeah.
More games need to do this.
Companions at any time as well for that.
It's just so fucking good.
There's so many RPGs I've abandoned over the years. You can talk
to your companions for a reminder where to go and stuff when you've not been playing it for a while. It's so good.
But yeah, so there's so many RPGs over the years I've abandoned because I've gone away to play something else for like a month or so, come back and gone, I have literally no idea what's going on.
I did that with what turned out to be one of my favourite RPGs, Lost Odyssey on Xbox.
Oh, yeah. That was a good
absolutely
game,
adored it, but I left it for like 4 or 5 months, come back and I'm like, what the fuck are these? What the fuck are these people? And it took years for me to redo it.
I left Dragon Quest between
2021 and 2022, wasn't it?
About a year, and like the synopsis just got me right back in. It's like, I know where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Right. Xenos said, look, you had it at the end of the fucking Patreon section last week. You've had your Dragon Quest music. Sit down and shut up.
I don't listen to this.
I know you listen to good podcasts.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
I don't listen to this shit.
I was here.
Xenos has said this week, I have to listen to it again when I edit the fucker, so you should all listen to it again. And
well, if you weren't good at editing, you wouldn't be doing it.
Oh, do you want to edit this week, Oodles?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Sit down and shut up. Xenos has said, this week I've watched Nimona because it's been available on YouTube for free. Unfortunately, it'll be gone by the time the episode is published because it's going away on Monday. I'm actually just starting a second watch as I type this. The first time was on my own, and this time my partner and a friend are watching it with me. Genuinely excellent film, and I don't know why Netflix decided to make it available for free, but I'm so glad they did. Considering I've seen
it's nominated for an Oscar. Sorry, that's why.
Does he not have Netflix? I thought everyone on planet had Netflix.
Well, some people don't.
I don't.
Do you not, can they?
I got rid.
Shy. I won't bother, mate. Shy.
Well, after Henry Cavill finished in The Witcher, you've got no need for a candy.
Exactly.
Considering I've seen the original sketch for Nimona and Ballister on Tumblr, it's incredible how far this has come. And if it wins the Oscar it's nominated for, then it'll be entirely deserved. And you know what? I fully agree, because I fucking loved Nimona. It was such a good film.
It won't win.
Not seen it. I've not seen it.
Well, you know what, Oodles? Until tomorrow morning, you can go onto YouTube and watch it for free.
I've got Netflix.
I would watch it. It's a really well animated film with a really good visual style.
I'd have to download the YouTube app on my PlayStation, wouldn't I?
Yeah, true. It's a really well animated film. It's got really good LGBT representation in it. It's a wonderful trans allegory. And I think it might be one of the best things Chloe Grace Moretz has ever done, because she's fucking brilliant as Nimona.
Okay.
He goes on to say, I've also been playing Elden Ring again, because it turns out there's a mod that adds full co-op to the game, which makes it infinitely more tolerable. I will be getting nowhere solo, but together we're going to flatten every bastard between us and the throne.
It sounds like it spoils it, that.
I mean, if it works for Xenos, it works for Xenos. Some people just can't get on with the Souls combat.
I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just saying it sounds like it spoiled my version of it.
Yeah,
it was my adventure, that one.
Well, yeah, because me and you go in, we enjoy the challenge because we're fucking sadists.
I like having no nails at the end of it.
I like looking at my controller and going, have I twisted that?
The first time I played Elden, like my PlayStation for the YouTube viewers, my PlayStation came with a white controller. Because of Elden Ring, I had to buy a red controller.
Slightly tangentially related. When I play on PC, I have this white Xbox One controller. I've had it for years.
Yeah.
I broke the right stick on the last boss on Armored Core 6.
So easy to do.
Can't use it.
Yeah, I've only ever broken controllers playing From Software games.
Yeah.
So some people are into that.
We're going to move on to Mr. Worldwide himself. It's Plenty. What's that high-pitched noise? It's feedback. Hello, friends. No 100 Things episode this week because work, wine, and the wife are all demanding.
Slack.
I joke.
Just when I start paying for it, I don't get one. I want my money back.
I've decided to get myself back into shape. That shape is still round, just less round. I hope to be egg-shaped in time for Easter. In a bid to do that, I've been working out at home to YouTube workout videos. 20 minutes cardio in the morning before work and the same when I get home. Baby steps in it. Get yourself to the fucking gym. Lift some weights, man.
No, don't bother with gym. You're doing well, Planty.
No,
do it. Stay at home. It's cheaper.
As for games, I'll save my Cyberpunk feedback for when I've finished it, but 25 hours in, I'm having a great time.
Good man.
Last week, the Switch got an update to its NES Online stuff, and finally, Snake Rattle and Roll is on there.
Is it?
Love that game.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
The 12-year-old in me was delighted, and I've played through it 3 times this week alone. It brought back all the best memories of switching on my NES the minute I got home and ignoring my homework. Kind of like podcasting in my 40s.
It's so good.
This week's biggie for us was Society of the Snow. It's grim. The grimmest thing I've seen in years. In spite of knowing the story, I assumed at one point they'd never get out. Stick and Gadget were both right. It's up there with the best films I've seen in the last 12 months. I haven't seen the film, I just knew the story. But
yeah,
lots of good things said about it, and Stig loved it. Well, better go. I've got a foot on the boil.
Oh.
I need to watch it. I love a good comedy.
For you, mate, it'll be nothing. You'll be like,
oh yeah, you'll be
fuck all this.
Based on what you've
Cannibalism,
been watching,
fuck all that.
Chuckling your way through it.
Fuck all. Cannibalism, I want to see him lancing boils off the faces and stuff. That's what you want.
And last up, we've got Best Boy Angry Kurt. This week, I've put more time into Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I've been enjoying it in a 7 out of 10 kind of way. It's pretty simple, but it looks lovely and just scratches the itch of playing something not too taxing, but it has some nice brain teasers, almost like doing a Sudoku puzzle. The main issue I have to say is that as a Mario game, the platforming feels off and the hit detection on enemies is unpolished. It's also very short at about 5 hours, even if it is a budget release.
Fucking hell. Is it the same as the DS one? Or is it a Game Boy Advance one? Because I played one.
It's not a remake. No, it's not a remake. It's a new game in that style, though.
Because I like the idea of it, but budget Nintendo's probably 40 quid.
TCGS absolutely ripped into it. They didn't like it at all.
Yeah, because it's not a 3D Mario game.
I mean, I think Kurt's selling his copies. So go in and see if he'll sell it.
How much?
I don't know. Look in the Discord.
25.
Yeah. $25?
No,
Quid.
£25 pancakes. I don't
Euros.
know, £25.
25 cents.
Ugh.
It was. If it's a Mario game that Nintendo haven't really put any marketing into.
Yeah, it's going to be B tier, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not interested. I have one more bit of feedback. It's just come in.
Well, hang on. I'm not finished with Kurt.
Oh, sorry.
What I was most excited for this week, though, was the return of my favourite sports documentary and a show partially responsible for my current job, In Drive to Survive. Once again, Netflix have done a great job covering the last season. Formula One fans complain that Netflix fabricates some of the drama on previous seasons, and that's probably true, but I don't care. Otherwise, it would be more boring, so why not put some additional drama in there to spice things up? And he says, cheers, I can't wait to hear what the new Patreon series is going to be. I'm
going to announce that very soon.
I feel like he's put that hint next to it.
We are announcing it this episode. Don't worry. Stay behind. Before Candyland, I will be announcing this after the social bits and stuff.
What did that F-King guy say?
Just finished Dexter. Oh my fucksy, what an absolute shit show.
I told him we were talking about it in the Discord earlier because he was saying, like, I've got like 3 episodes of Dexter to go and it just keeps getting worse. And all I could say was, mate, it gets worse from there. Those last 3 episodes in particular are terrible.
I was listening to the pod from last week and you were saying about it. It was like, even the not reboot, but even the kind of 10 years
sequel
later
series,
what they did. That was bad too. Like they said it was going to be, it makes up for all our wrongdoings. Did it though? No.
It was interesting, but not great.
I tell you what, if you want to watch Dexter, watch it up to the end of the Trinity Killer series. It doesn't exist after that.
I'm just not going to bother.
But the thing is, Oodles, the Trinity Killer is John Lithgow.
It's very
good. You should have started with that.
It's very good.
You should have started with it. I love it.
You could watch the first 4 and be like, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me want to
well, you know how to tickle my taste buds. I love a bit of thespianism.
Well, that 4th series, like the character Lithgow is playing, it's like peeling the onion of a character because he starts off so friendly and it just gets so horrible by the end.
Did you see him in Daddy's Home too?
Yeah,
he's so good in that. He keeps kissing Will Ferrell because they've got like a really healthy dad-father-son relationship. They just keep kissing each other on lips. It's so funny.
But it's Mel Gibson's in the film, so I can't watch it.
He is, and he's terrible.
He's a terrible. You're right. He's a terrible person.
Yeah, and a terrible actor nowadays.
I know he's always been terrible. He was just in good movies.
Yeah, that's
he's
probably,
usually the
probably
worst
the
thing
case.
in any film he's in.
Yeah, that's probably the case, isn't it? He's great in Mad Max.
No, he's not. He doesn't act in Mad Max. He just stands there and looks moody.
He's great in Lethal Weapon.
First one. Yeah, he is. Cool. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in our show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Again, Kenny Potter is over now, but you can, if you are a patron, you can go and listen to them because now it's time to finally announce what we're going to be doing in the interim. Here's the clue. So Candy's having a sabbatical. We're going to get to Candy's Resident Evil later on in the year. In the interim, we're going to be the modern escapism.
Oh, it really fucking rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
I mean, title to be announced. But we are going to do the X-Men cinematic universe in review. Now, we've all seen them, but that's what's going to be special about it.
There's only 2 films to cover, isn't there? It should be a short one.
You know,
all
I
of
remembered
them.
about
7
this
or 8?
is nope,
2.
because you've got 3 Wolverine spin-offs, both Deadpool
Yes, we're doing them all. We're doing the Deadpool films
We've got
as well.
New Mutants. When we talked about this, I was like, hang on, there's a lot in this.
Can we
It's
just
gonna
specify
last
the ones
all
with
year.
X-Men in the title?
Yeah, I'm only joking. We might do Deadpool's because that's kind of canon, isn't it? But we're going to do the X-Men cinematic universe in review, similar to Kenny Potter, but obviously we've seen them, so it's going to be more of an in-depth, I don't know, biopsy of these films.
It's a remember. Did I think this film was good?
Yes. I'm really excited. We haven't got a date when it's starting, but it will start soon.
I think
again,
I think we'll probably start it in April because in March, Biggie and I'll get Fast X done.
Yeah,
and then start it at some point in April.
And that spin-off is going to be starring me and Stig as usual.
Too.
It's going to star me and Stig as usual, and Gadget and Biggie as well. The Escapism man.
I mean, you could, if you want a Candy, you can join if you want.
I might pop into a few. We'll see.
For the Dark Phoenix.
I was going to get her on the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. No, not that one.
Our very own Jean Grey.
So in preparation, patrons, because it's a patron one, get watching along. Look, we're not asking you to read the comics, but guess what? Me and Biggie are definitely going to be saying, in the books, we're going to be doing that.
Oodles is going to be fucking intolerable.
Biggie's more of a fan of X-Men than I am.
I know,
he's the X-Man.
Dark Phoenix, and I never planned to see it.
It's bad.
I
saw it at the cinema.
I think we still have to do all the spin-offs, everything.
Does that include the cartoon as well?
No, just the Wolverine films.
Too much on the cartoon.
Just so we have to put ourselves...
I think we do the Wolverine films, yeah.
Wolverine Origins, just so we put ourselves through that.
Oh, don't. Oh,
yes, we're doing it.
We do get to finish it off with Logan, though, so Logan makes up for that.
Yeah, we do. We do. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be an excellent experience. There's so many highlights and lowlights. It's just going to be so good. Please, in preparation, get the first 2 watched at least.
We absolutely also need to get Planty on for X-Men The Last Stand, because I just want to hear him shout about Kelsey Grammer for a while.
Hey, people are welcome to jump on. If you're a patron, you can come on. But it's exciting. It's exciting to have another project to sink his teeth into. And if you patrons have an idea of what we can actually call it rather than Modern Escapism Man, feel free.
There's a Fast and Furious X count as well.
You up, Biggie?
No, it doesn't.
Fast and Furious X
does not
count as well.
No. So we're doing that. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting because there's more shit. There's more turds.
The sad thing is there are more turds than successes, but some of the successes are really fucking good.
Well, we're capitalising on the fact that X-Men's massive at the moment again, so it's synergy, absolute synergy. It's going to be wonderful. I can't wait for this. But yeah, exclusive to patrons. We will, as always, do the first episode for free.
The good film.
We did that. The good film. You'll get that for free to get a taste because we're excellent drug dealers. We always give you a free taste. But you'll get... it's just going to be so exciting. I can't fucking wait. But yes, now that's over with. It's time for Candyland.
Oh, no.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
Well, I've got two, because I've been hatching it. Like, whilst we've been podding, I've been hatching a plan I might have seen a bit distant. It's because I might have come up with the next big thing. I'll do my first one first. So the first one I thought is, like, we don't realise how lucky we are that air is see-through. Can you imagine if it was like...
What do you mean? Oxygen?
Yeah. Imagine
It's not.
Yeah, it is. I can see you.
It's not. We just don't see that spectrum of it.
Aren't we lucky that we don't see the spectrum of oxygen?
That's better. That's better.
Can you imagine what a nightmare life would be? Isn't it? But isn't that a pure coincidence? Like,
No, it's not. It's evolution.
no, like how the moon is like the perfect size to block out the sun on eclipses. That is like pure coincidence.
It's not the perfect size to block out the sun.
It is though. It's like that perfect ring.
No, it makes you feel. It looks like that from where we are. It's not.
No, it is.
It's not.
It is.
If you fart in the bath, you see the bubbles.
I know what you mean. It is from where we're stood. Like it's not
from our angle. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I know the sun and the moon
Do
are the same
you think there's
size,
ever?
but-
Do you think there's ever an eclipse on the International Space Station?
I think you broke her there.
I'm gone. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
There you go.
No.
It's always
yeah.
sunny.
No. There must.
It's always
there must
sunny
be,
in space.
There must be loads of no, because it's not behind the moon. No, it's in
that.
front of the moon. But
Imagine
if
if
they're
it was just a
it depends what
constant
window
fog
they're looking
in
out
front
of,
of us.
doesn't it?
It does depend what window you're looking at. Absolutely.
If they're looking out the back door, then yeah, there
You've
would
got to
be
remember,
eclipses.
the International Space Station's constantly falling.
Yeah, I know. I hate that. I read that. Blew
It's
my hair
frightening,
back.
isn't it?
That blew my hair back. When I found out that you're actually not weightless when you get to that level of space,
you're
like,
falling.
you're just falling.
Just falling.
Do you think, like, as soon as you go weightless into space, though, like, you know, there's that moment and something comes up floating in front of you. Do you think it feels like when you go on Oblivion at Alton Towers and you just like your tummy
that initial,
drops?
the initial tummy drop. Yeah, I bet it does.
Ooh.
That's Buzz Aldrin. He'll
That'd
tell
be
you.
fun, though, wouldn't it? I don't want to go into
I
space,
think it
but
would.
like,
No, because you hit a point.
They never
where you
made
don't
it to the
feel
moon.
it, surely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the G-force stops when you're actually in space. Pretty sure there's no G-force at all.
No, because there's
Must be very weird. I know that if you need to have a piss and a shit, you have to get strapped at toilet. That's as much as I know. And I'm
there's
not
not
fancy
there's not G-force, but momentum still goes because
momentum still goes. Yeah.
Because if you have a centrifuge, you can kind of. We're getting way off topic. Do you want to hear my other one?
Yeah.
This is good.
No.
Right. You know gyms, and there's like loads and loads of running machines.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is a half-baked idea because I was still getting there whilst we were podding.
I think I know where this is going.
You should be.
Why
able
do we
to-
just not walk?
It should be connected to like the national grid.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought
Yeah.
you were going to go with.
But if you've got like you've got a little membership card, you put it into your running machine, you away or whatever you're doing, and then like it can be like used against your electricity bill, maybe, like the amount of kilojoules.
That's a great idea because it's recycling like energy, isn't it? Kinetic energy. The only way that would work though is if they reduced what we pay out for energy. Because
we
we
in
have
April.
to run so much to even make it worthwhile, and I can't run on a treadmill. It's disgusting.
It's boring as fuck, isn't it? But
Also-
if you're getting a bit of money off your electricity bill, it might be worth it.
That's a good idea.
But it also doesn't work like that because treadmills are motorized, so you need to
It
plug
wouldn't.
them
It
into
would
the
have
electric.
to be. It would have to be a not motorized one.
Yes, you can get. You can get. No, you can get.
You can get them.
unmotorised
Yeah, you can get. Yeah.
No, but like in terms of like the 50 of them that you see next to each other at a gym.
I'm almost
electric.
certain.
Spin bikes aren't though, are they?
Yeah, I was about to say that
Have
some
you ever
countries.
done spin, Candy?
Yes, it's dreadful.
Exactly.
Some countries
So
do
don't
use
even
spin
fucking
bikes.
start.
Some do use spin bikes to power up small generators in real life. So
That'd be good,
there's
wouldn't it?
logic.
Like if you had a spin bike in your house.
That's how they do the electric down where Oodles lives.
That's just so.
Sometimes.
His Ben's on the spin bike right now to try and keep it going.
Yeah.
No, like the idea that we have to generate our own energy.
No, you don't have to.
like,
You have the option to.
by exercising.
If you swiped your card, you get money off your electric
Yeah.
bill. I like it.
Like
I
you can
like
still
it,
go in
Andy.
and turn your lights on, but if you think, well, I could cycle for an hour and then I can play on my PlayStation for an hour for free,
Just 5 minutes.
Yeah, I like it.
it'd be all right. Stay tuned for more
Candy,
good ideas.
This
of
is
Candy.
this is my favourite one you've ever said.
Thanks.
Because it makes sense. It's a nice.
I'm gonna look
No,
this up.
it's space turbulence.
It's a great socialist idea, working together for the betterment of humanity.
And also, if you're on a bike, you don't need to be able to see where you're going if the air wasn't transparent, so you're fine.
Wow. That loses points with the
ruined it.
transparency of air.
You flew too close to the sun there, Candy.
You know air's a
It's
gas,
just the
don't you?
perfect
You know
distance
CO2 is a
that's blocked
gas.
out
It's a
from-
gaseous. You know it's a gaseous substance, don't you?
CO2?
No, O2.
Oh, O2, yeah, I was going to say. Well, yeah, also, yeah. Yeah, but that, I mean, there's gases.
Too expensive, though, O2.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
I don't know anyway.
So doing an hour on a bike generates about 0.11 kilowatts, or more or less,
Nothing
depending on
then.
how fast you cycle.
Fuck
So
all
an
then.
hour on the bike provides only 0.37% of your energy needed for 24 hours, approximately 5 minutes. So
That's all right.
an hour of spin bike for 5 minutes of energy.
Perfect.
No.
Fine, it's fine. I'm sure we can tweak it somehow.
It's a great idea in theory, Candy, and I particularly like that one.
Thank you.
Ignore the haters.
Thanks.
What, until they
I thought
have
it
this,
was
like,
good.
have you ever seen that Black Mirror? Is it when they're on the
Yeah.
treadmills?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it would be like.
Yeah.
Not indentured servitude. I'm talking about a nice
No, but
little option.
Once they
choice.
put the option into place, oh, this works. Why don't we make
Remember,
everybody
guys,
do it?
There's countries in this world that pay you for putting cans in machines to recycle, so it can be done. We can work together for a better world. Candy's world. Candyland.
Fucking
Candyland.
hamsters.
If you're not a patron, this is the end of the show for you. If you are a patron, we'll meet you in the green room for a little quick handy. See you later, everybody. Scrubs. Bye.
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 Jog on.
I'm going to fart on Mike and hope that Gadget hears it when he's editing.
I know where that's going. He's clearly going to.
That's a proper
That was loud,
raspberry.
weren't it? That was so loud. I was just in the sound waves. It was really loud.
See, I told you farts were funny.
I feel like I can smell
That's
it.
for Kurt, that one. That's just for Kurt. Oh, it stinks.